You know, folks, we love a good debate here on First Take, and there's no bigger debate in the world of sports than this. Who is the greatest of all time? And today, we're diving headfirst into the NFL's most prestigious position, the quarterback. We're talking about the signal callers, the field generals, the ones who make or break a franchise. These are the guys who sling that pigskin with pinpoint accuracy, who orchestrate game-winning drives, and who etch their names in the history books. Get ready for heated takes, controversial rankings, and maybe even a little yelling. That's right, we're breaking down the top 10 quarterbacks of all time. From legendary Hall of Famers to modern-day superstars, we're ranking the best to ever do it. So buckle up, because this is gonna be a wild ride. Kicking off our list at number 10 is none other than Troy Aikman, the face of the Dallas Cowboys dynasty in the 1990s. This guy was the epitome of cool under pressure, leading America's team to 3 Super Bowl victories in a span of just 4 years. Now, some might say Aikman had the luxury of a dominant running game and a legendary defense. And sure, Emmitt Smith and that doomsday defense were something special. But let me tell you something. Aikman was the straw that stirred the drink in Dallas. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't going to scramble for 100 yards, but he was a winner. Plain and simple, a true field general who could dissect defenses with his arm and his mind. He made the throws when it mattered most, and that's what counts in this league. Fun fact, you want to talk about loyalty? Aikman played his entire 12-year career with the Cowboys. That's almost unheard of in today's NFL. Talk about bleeding silver and blue. Coming in at number 9, we have a quarterback who redefined passing in the modern NFL, Drew Brees. This guy could thread the needle like nobody's business, and he holds a whole bunch of all-time passing records that'll make your head spin. When Brees arrived in New Orleans, the Saints were considered a laughingstock, but he embraced the challenge, leading them to their first ever Super Bowl victory in 2009 and cementing his legacy as a true champion. Brees was never the biggest or the strongest guy on the field, but he played with a heart bigger than this studio. He showed the world that size doesn't matter when you got accuracy, intelligence, and that Louisiana fire in your belly. Fun fact. Now, you wouldn't know it by his Hall of Fame career, but Brees wasn't a highly touted prospect coming out of college. He was only the second quarterback taken in his draft class. But boy, did he prove all those doubters wrong? Talk about a chip on your shoulder. Coming in at number 8, we got Steve Young. Now, some people forget just how electrifying this man was on the football field. Forget standing in the pocket. Steve Young was a magician back there, escaping sacks and making plays with his legs just as well as his arm. And let me tell you something, the man could flat out play. 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, the accolades speak for themselves. He redefined the quarterback position, showing the league that you didn't have to be a statue back there to win championships. And talk about pressure, this brother stepped into some big shoes, following Joe Montana in San Francisco. But you know what? He didn't just fill those shoes, he made his own legacy. Led the 49ers to a Super Bowl victory and put up some ridiculous numbers along the way. Steve Young, a true innovator at the quarterback position, and without a doubt, one of the greatest to ever do it. You can't talk about the best quarterbacks of all time without mentioning number 8, Steve Young. at number 7, we're going back in time, way back, to the original gunslinger, Johnny Unitas. This is a guy who helped define what it meant to be a quarterback in the NFL. Back in his day, it was a different game, tougher, more physical, and Unitas thrived in that environment. This is a guy who could make every throw on the field, and he did it with a level of toughness that you just don't see anymore. He was a leader, a field general, and his teammates, they'd run through a brick wall for him. And let's talk about clutch, because Johnny Unitas was clutch. He practically invented the 2-minute drill, bringing his team back from the brink, time and time again. He didn't shy away from the big moments. He embraced them. Johnny Unitas, a true pioneer, a legend of the game, and a guy who paved the way for every quarterback that came after him. He absolutely deserves his spot at number 7 on this list. Coming in at number 6, we got Brett Favre, the gunslinger. Now, let me tell you something. This man played the game with a level of passion and excitement that was contagious. He loved the game, and you could see it in every throw he made. And talk about toughness, Favre was as tough as they come. 297 consecutive starts? Are you kidding me? The man was an Iron Man. He played through injuries, he played through adversity, he just wouldn't be denied. And let's not forget, this man could sling the rock. He wasn't afraid to take chances, to push the ball downfield, and sometimes, yeah, he made some head-scratching throws, but that was Brett Favre. He played with his heart on his sleeve, and you gotta respect that. The first quarterback to ever throw for 500 touchdowns, Brett Favre left his mark on the NFL. He was a true gunslinger, a one-of-a-kind talent, and he's earned his spot at number 6 on our list of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Number 5 on our list, and let me tell you something, this brother can flat out play, is Aaron Rodgers. This man, Aaron Rodgers, is one of the most talented quarterbacks this league has ever seen. You hear me? Ever seen? He's got it all, folks. We talking about elite accuracy? Rodgers got it. Mobility? He can move like a gazelle on the field, escaping sacks and making throws on the run. And don't even get me started on his intelligence. This man, he dissects defenses at the line of scrimmage like a surgeon. Rodgers redefined what it means to be a modern quarterback. He's not just a pocket passer, he's a playmaker, a game changer, and the numbers don't lie. He holds the highest passer rating in NFL history, proving his efficiency and skill. Let me repeat that. The highest passer rating in NFL history? Are you kidding me? That's not just luck. Folks, that's pure talent and dedication. Coming in at number 4, we got Dan Marino, the man with the golden arm. Now, some people might question this ranking because he never won the big one, never got that Super Bowl ring, and yeah, that's a fact. But let me tell you something. You don't put up the kind of numbers Marino did without being an absolute legend. This guy revolutionized the passing game in the 1980s. He was throwing for 5,000 yards in a season when nobody else even dreamed about it. We're talking about a time when defenses were allowed to be a lot more physical, and he was still picking them apart. His 5,084-yard season in 1984, are you kidding me? That record stood for decades. Decades. Marino was a gunslinger, a true innovator. He paved the way for the high-flying offenses we see in today's NFL. So, while he may not have that championship ring, His impact on the game is undeniable. At number 3, we got a man who needs no introduction, the one and only Joe Montana. Joe Cool, they called him. And let me tell you something. That nickname fit him perfectly. This guy was ice cold under pressure. 4 Super Bowl championships, folks. 4. And it wasn't just that he won them, it's how he won them. He was at his best when the lights were brightest, leading his team to victory time and time again. Montana had this uncanny ability to stay calm and collected in the most pressure-packed moments. The bigger the game, the better he played. It's what separated him from the pack. And get this, he went 4-0 in Super Bowls, undefeated on the biggest stage in the sport. That's what you call a winner, folks. Joe Montana, a true legend of the game. Listen, folks, you can't talk about the greatest quarterbacks of all time without mentioning Peyton Manning. This man, he's a 5-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and arguably the brainiest quarterback to ever grace the gridiron. We're talking about a guy who could dissect defenses before the snap, call audibles like he was ordering a pizza, and throw a football with pinpoint accuracy. Don't even get me started on his pre-snap adjustments. Omaha. He had defenses guessing every single play. He revolutionized the quarterback position with his intelligence and preparation, and his impact on the game is undeniable. You see, Peyton Manning wasn't just about physical talent. This man was a student of the game. He lived and breathed football, and it showed on the field. He took those Indianapolis Colts teams and turned them into perennial contenders. And let's not forget about his time in Denver, winning another Super Bowl and cementing his legacy as one of the all-time greats. You can argue about who's number 1, but Peyton Manning, he's definitely in that conversation. We've arrived at the pinnacle, folks. The top spot on our list of the greatest quarterbacks of all time belongs to none other than Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. 7 Super Bowl rings. 7. That's more than any franchise in NFL history. This man defied all odds. He was a 6th-round draft pick, an afterthought, left for scraps. But Tom Brady, he didn't just rise to the occasion, he became the occasion. He's the ultimate winner, the epitome of resilience, the embodiment of clutch. 2 decades of dominance, defying Father Time himself. He led those New England Patriots to dynasty status. And then he took his talents to Tampa Bay and won another Super Bowl. You can't make this stuff up. Tom Brady's work ethic, his competitive fire, his unwavering belief in himself, it's unmatched. He's an inspiration to anyone who's ever been told they can't achieve their dreams. Tom Brady, the GOAT, the legend, the greatest of all time. No debate. We've journeyed through the annals of NFL history, folks, ranking the top 10 quarterbacks to ever grace the gridiron. From Aikman's precision to Brady's dominance, we've seen it all. But the debate rages on. Who's your GOAT? Was it Joe Montana's coolness under pressure? Or maybe Peyton Manning's pre-snap mastery? Or perhaps Tom Brady's unparalleled championship pedigree? You tell me. Hit us up in the comments and let your voice be heard. This is more than just a list. It's a testament to the evolution of the quarterback position, the heart and soul of the NFL. But remember, this is just our take. Who's your number 1? Who deserves to be etched in the pantheon of football legends? If you love sports facts and rankings, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and we'll see you in the next video.